Okay, so what are we going to work on today for you?
So what we're going to work on is marketing for me and dealing with social media because it's what
Mm,
we got to do. And I just, it's such a struggle for me.
mm,
It's overwhelming. And then
mm.
they keep changing the algorithms and everything. And then there's
Okay.
so many different platforms, oh, you have to be on Instagram. Oh, now you have to be on TikTok. I'm like, seriously, I don't want to be doing social media all day. And
Yes.
how do you leverage yourself?
Okay. So take me into that moment a little bit more for you. What is going on for you internally?
I think I just get overwhelmed, and so then I'll freeze. It's like
Okay.
elements too. It's like, okay, I posted this and 10 people saw it. Great. I've got 5,000 friends almost and 10 people saw it. So why bother? You know?
Yeah. Okay. And then it becomes like a hopelessness. There's that freeze again.
Yeah.
So you're mentioning actually two parts I'm hearing that are distressing, right? It's the before, like
Mhm.
as you're starting to create, maybe, and then it's the after, like not getting the views, not getting the results you're looking for, right? And so out of those two experiences, I know this was a whole experience, but I'm going to narrow it down even further. Out of those two pieces, which one feels the worst to you?
It's the second one.
Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, Jeanette, now that we've kind of nailed it down to a piece of the umbrella, right? I'm going to ask you some very specific questions about the end part, the results, right? That freeze and that hopelessness. Once we do that, once we get all that down, then we're going to start our eye movements. Okay. Just like I was doing before, they're going to be the fast ones. Okay.
Mhm.
I want you to know that as we're going through this process, you're in full control. You get to stop or pause as needed. When we start the eye movements, we'll do them for a while. This is a time for you and I to be quiet so we can allow your system, your brain, your body, and that connection to do the work. I trust that your body and your brain are going to do the work it needs to get where you'd like to be. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So I'll put both my fingers down. I'll say pause. You'll take a breath. It can be as deep or as shallow as you need it. Okay. And then what I'm going to say is, what did you notice or what came up? And I'm going to stay pretty scripted again, because I'm going to stay out of as much as possible so that your system can do the work it needs to do. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll only jump in if I absolutely need to move things along. Okay. So once I say what came up or what did you notice, just tell me about anything and everything that is coming up for you during the time that your eyes were moving. And then once you tell me what's going on there, I'll say, okay, notice that or go with that. And that will be our cue to begin our eye movements again. Okay. We're going to repeat that over and over and over again until we get where we need to go. You also don't have to tell me everything. You don't have to tell me the details of any pain. I just need to know that things are moving.
Okay.
So you can say, "Oh, it changed. My emotion changed. So I thought of something different." Okay? You can keep it simple too.
Okay.
Or tell me anything. All right? All right. So when you think about the results and it feeling like it's not enough and freezing and hopeless, right? Is there an image that comes up for you in your mind that represents the worst part about this?
Yeah. Is it? I always say the name wrong. Is Icarus? Whatever. The guy who's it's the Greek fable of the guy who's rolling the stone up the mountain, and it just keeps falling down.
Uh-huh.
And he
And
gets to the
that's
top, and then it just comes right back down.
when you think of this image, are there words that go best with it that describe a negative belief about yourself?
Um. Well, the word that comes up is futile. I don't know that that's. I mean, I don't know that that's a negative belief about me, but the effort is futile.
Let's go with it's futile.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Um, so this is where we start to talk about where you want to be with this. Okay, where we're going to go. So instead of it's futile, right? Because when you get there, then in drops the hopelessness and the freeze, right? So, and we know is that our thoughts control our emotion. And then that sits in our body in an unhelpful way, like freezing, right? And then that behavior of freezing reinforces that thought that things are futile. So if we can change the thought, we can get your body and behavior in line with where you want to go.
Okay.
Okay. So what would you rather believe than it's futile?
What if it's magnetic? It's fun and it attracts people to me. Attracts,
Okay.
wait a minute. Because you can get some bad people on Facebook.
Okay. Attracts what kind of people?
Attracts my ideal clients. How about that?
Ideal client. Okay. Right now, as you think about that thought, how true does it feel to you on a scale of 1 to 7? 7 is very true, 1 is not true at all.
It's about a 1.
It's a 1. So come back to the image, bring it up in your mind. And that thought, it's futile. And what emotions come up for you right now?
Disappointment.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's just like, this is my lot. Like what's his, hundreds of years he's going up and down the mountain, up and down the mountain. And it's like, okay, does it ever change?
When you feel all those emotions, right? Now on a different scale, 0 to 10, right? 0 is none or neutral, distress, upset, any of those emotions that you listed, right? And 10 is the worst. You're crawling out of your skin. What is your distress level with this?
About a 7.
And where are you feeling it in your body?
My second chakra.
Okay.
My throat.
What are you feeling in those 2 places?
It's just heavy.
And follow my fingers. What do you notice?
It's very calm. I feel very much at peace now.
And what would you say is your level of distress now as you think of it?
About a 2.
Think of that 2 and follow.
Oh, God.
No more.
No
No
more?
2. 0.
Yeah.
So now let's go to that where you want to be place, right? Which was it's fun and it attracts my ideal client.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. When you think about this, right, the results and it's not enough now, and this new more helpful thought, it's fun and attracts my ideal client. How true does that feel to you now on a scale of 1 to 7? 7 is very true.
That's a 7.
So now what I want you to do is think about a potential future scenario where this new helpful thought can get challenged for you.
Sure. Well, I
Okay.
make a post and nobody sees it.
Okay, good. So now what you're going to do with that is you're going to run through that experience like a movie in your head. Okay. But you're going to run through it with like a movie with the new, more helpful thought, like a mantra, right? It's fun and I attract my ideal client.
Okay.
Here we go. What came up during that time?
It was pretty tight and intense, and then it just kind of relaxed away.
Yeah. Okay. So the new, more helpful thought brings you more comfort around the thing that has given you distress. So if you're more relaxed and you have this new thought, maybe you might get just what you're looking for.
Exactly.